welcome to you all at home.
Both McLaren start on the medium, feeling strong ahead of the race.
You've still got a chance to win this race, haven't you?
Just try. I wanna be the only one to make it to the light. I'll take it to the edge where I've lived 1,000 lives.
I'm out of box here.
Brake very late, to open up the left hand.
Fascinating race ahead.
Formula One has arrived in Barcelona. When the teams left Jerez, Mercedes looked to be in good shape. Red Bull had an inauspicious start to 2015, and McLaren, well, they looked to be struggling, just 79 laps across the 4 days. But it was Ferrari power that topped the timesheets every single day. Now we're at a more representative circuit. How will they all fare? Well, some fared better than others. Lewis Hamilton was the first to cut short his running. Just 11 laps in, the world champion got out of the car suffering from a fever. He returned to his hotel to rest. Pascal Wehrlein had spent the morning driving for Force India, but the Mercedes test driver swapped cars just before lunch and replaced Hamilton in the W06. That meant a call to Sergio Perez to fill the empty 2014 Force India. And there was an early end to Jenson Button's day when a faulty seal meant the power unit needed to be replaced after just 21 laps. Honda have warned a repeat of the issue may hamper Fernando Alonso's running on Friday before a new redesigned part can be delivered to the circuit on Saturday. Susie Wolff and Felipe Nasr had a coming together on track. That resulted in both of them ending up in the gravel in the afternoon, but after some fast work by the mechanics, both got out again before the end of running.
I think the program was going quite well. The morning especially was done pretty good. We went to all the schedule plan, and I could see some positives on the car coming from Jerez. And that speaking about the accident, I think she didn't expect me coming on a quick lap, as she was on an out lap, and as I dive into turn 5, she was on the right side of the track, and I overtook her on braking, and then suddenly I just saw a big hit on my rear suspension, and I just expected that she was going to see me, but I think she didn't see me.
The guys got you back out again though this afternoon. They did a good job. Has it put much of a dent in the programme?
Oh, for sure it did hurt our program this afternoon by the accident early on, but still. It was great to see the team put in such a good effort on putting the car together, and we could have done we could have done more for sure. But 2 runs in the end is still pretty good to check the car is able to run on the next days.
What are the good points of this car, and what areas do you feel still need some work to be done?
I feel there is still a bit of everything to be improved, to be honest, on every side. But I'm quite confident we've done a step forward again from Jerez, and all I want to do is to help the team the most I can to bring the car back to the points.
Is it enjoyable to drive, or is it still quite tough?
No, it is enjoyable. It's still a Formula One car, so it's fun to drive, and it's good when you see some positives from one test to the other, and we can keep working on that.
So, Susie, I'll have to start with a little coming together on track you had today with Felipe Nasr. Can you just tell us what happened?
Yeah, coming together on a test day is never good. I was holding my line. I was in an out lap, and he was in a flying lap, and I didn't move off the line, but we ended up touching his rear to my front left. So I think it was an unfortunate incident.
A lot of laps, though, before that point. How was the car feeling?
Really good. We did a soft race simulation in the morning, and the car felt very good, and it was about me learning a lot every lap, about the tyres, about the car, and we had a great programme set up for the afternoon where I was going a bit more for lap time, but unfortunately we didn't get around to that. But still, overall, a positive day, lots of laps, and we got a lot of good information.
They managed to get you back in the car at the end of the day, but how much of a dent has that made in the programme?
It wasn't ultimately that bad. I mean, for me it was bad. I was looking forward to the runs in the afternoon, and we ended up having a small issue at the end which also stopped us from running again. But these things happen, you know, that's part of testing, and I think you always as a driver need to be aware of that.
A lot of talk about Williams this year. Is it a championship winning car, do you think?
Very difficult to say this early on. You know, for us, we're not speaking about championships yet. We have, I think, a very solid car. The FW37 for me felt a good step forward from the 36, and I think it's about being the best we can be. But ultimately, until Melbourne, we're not going to know exactly where we are.
What are you trying to get from the car today, and what would Felipe and Valtteri be trying to get from the car at this middle of the three tests?
The middle test is, for us, mostly about reliability. It's about doing longer runs, understanding the tyres and the car over a longer run. In Jerez it was the initial checks, and then the last test it will be getting ready for Melbourne. So the middle test was a lot about reliability and drivability over a long run.
And how did that car feel? You drove last year's as well. How does it feel compared to last year's?
Well, I drove last year's in July of last year, so obviously there was already quite some updates coming on the 36 up until the last race in Abu Dhabi. But for me, a big step forward in the right direction, which is very positive and nice to feel.
And Valtteri's been tipped as possible championship contender. Do you think he is?
I'm a big fan of Valtteri, but I'm a big fan of Valtteri and Felipe. I think both did a great job last year, and we're lucky to have them in the team, and I think we can hopefully see more great things from them this year.
Ferrari again showed some pace as Kimi Raikkonen managed 74 laps. But it was the Lotus of Pastor Maldonado that topped the times at the end of the day with a 1:25.011. Quicker than Lewis Hamilton's pole lap from last year's Spanish Grand Prix.
Pastor, tell us about the feeling in the team. Testing's always funny, isn't it? People just want to go racing. But there must be such relief that after the difficulties of last year, you've got a good car on your hands.
I think so. For sure it's a step forward. How big is the step is difficult to say. But for sure it's a step forward. We still need to work quite hard, you know, to try to get the 100% from the package. It will be not easy, you know, we don't have time enough. And as I mentioned before, we have a new engine, so our work plan is quite extend, you know, so we need to do our best to try to provide the time as much as possible, and yeah, looks good. We need to try to improve a few things in the car. We are working on it. Tomorrow is going to be another day, and next week as well, so quite positive.
Interesting day for you. You started in the Force India and you ended in the favourite for the world title this season. How was your day?
Yeah, it was, for sure I was quite surprised in the morning when I got the information that I have to drive now with the Mercedes, but I think to drive two cars in one day was amazing, and yeah, I was happy, and day was good. We had a bit problems in the afternoon with the car, and we lost a bit of time, so I had only 3 runs with the Mercedes car, so it wasn't that much, but yeah, the time I had I enjoyed, and also the time with the Force India, and I'm looking forward to the next days.
What sort of problems did you have?
Some technical issues on the car, and yeah, we had to check it and yeah, fix it, and yeah, it was good that at the end I could drive some more laps, because at that point I only had 10 laps, and yeah, would be a shame if I couldn't drive more.
And in terms of the rest of this test, if Nico's not better tomorrow, will we see you back in the car?
I think so, but I think he's now a bit better, and yeah, let's see, I'm here, so if something happens, I can drive and I will drive, but yeah, hopefully the drivers can drive and get some practice in the new car.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Are you behind at the moment?
I don't know. You never know.
You had the engine problems. You had the
testing.
engine problems in Jerez.
Yeah.
So
No, I think. I mean, for sure, we're still fine tuning. Definitely, we're not where we want to be yet with the engine and drivability and all that. But at the same time, we didn't really expect to be there yet. I think we knew it would take a bit of time. So I think we're with where we thought we would be. I think maybe some others are probably a bit further up for now, but I think come Melbourne we'll be there.
So Marcus, a pretty good test in Jerez for Sauber overall.
Yeah, it was a very good start for us. We had a car that was running all days and without any troubles really, so it was very positive. So yeah, hopefully we can continue this here in Barcelona.
Just a little off for Felipe today, but he's back out again now. How is this car to drive? How have you found it?
It's a big step forward, to be honest. I got the chance to drive the car, the previous year's car for Sauber at the end of last season, and for me I can feel a step just in general, stability of the car and more grip in general. So it's a better car, and also I think Ferrari made a decent step in the engine side, so overall it's really promising.
Some of the times have looked pretty good, but we can't read too much into times, especially at testing like this. Where do you think you are in the field? Where do you think this car will end up in the field?
Very difficult to say. I mean, we are focusing on our program, and we're doing that, full focus on that. And like you say, in testing, you never know what other people are doing. But yeah, overall, we've been positive about our progress we've made so far, and hopefully, as a team, we need to target points, and that's where we need to start. Obviously, last year was a very difficult one for Sauber, so we need to bounce back and make sure we fight for points on a regular basis.
We know the team come to these tests looking to learn a lot, but what do you look to learn from these tests, particularly this second one, the middle test? What can you learn from this one?
Yeah, now we have a bit more idea how the car is working, and we need to continue to evaluate how the different setups, what that does to the feel of the car when you drive. So it's a lot of, for me as a driver to learn that if we change this and this, the car will behave in this way. So it's a lot about that, but also, of course, when you're in a new team, it's very important to learn the people you work with, to learn how they express themselves, what you need to give feedback to them, stuff like that. So it's always an important stage of a season, now pre-season, to make sure that you get to the first round really understanding the people you work with.
Looking forward to getting back in the car tomorrow.
Can't wait.
And finally, some good news from Manor F1, formerly the Marussia team, of course. It seems they're poised to exit administration and take that step closer to returning to the Formula One grid in 2015. We'll have another roundup at the end of day 2 here in Barcelona, and I'll be back throughout the day on Sky Sports News HQ.